guys, what is up? Today I come to you with a double review of Gintama, which consists of chapter 587 and 588. I'll try to keep it as short as I can because, every chapter is back to back, so leaving off from where I remember from chapter 586 is when Kamui snapped after his fight with Gintoki because of everything that he was hearing, and him running away from his problems, and basically all the pressure was being put on him to the point he actually snapped. And I did say something along the line saying that because Kamui has snapped, he turned into like a Kagura 2.0. Okay, remember the time when she was fighting Abuto during the Yoshiwara in Flames arc? That's how exactly he looked in chapter 587. Possibly three of the outcomes could have happened, where Kagura could have intervened and tried to stop Kamui, she really musters up the strength to fight him. Either Umibozu comes in with the last of his bread, knowing that he's already at death's door, but to just put a stop, if he can just somehow intervene from Kamui raging, or some intervenience would have happened. I totally forgot for a good minute that Abuto was still there. He was there during the whole confrontation with Umibozu and Yutsuro, and then Umibozu and Kamui and everything that was happening. So for quite a while he was kind of taking a stand back for a little bit until he came back, and he was fighting Kamui. And I think a lot of people were suspecting that would have happened, but I totally forgot that he was there. And him always following Kamui ever since the first day that they met, and him seeing the fight between Kamui and Hosen, he's always been there. He's been that supporting character for Kamui, but never getting in his way. And we've seen how they both grew up. He basically was like that guardian for Kamui, watching him grow up. And as he says that every battle that Kamui ever goes through, he always has a smile on his face. And now seeing him being controlled by his Yato blood, something that we've already seen before in the series, Kagura, it saddens him to see that, because he knows his old captain, his old idiot captain, always had a smile on his face. No matter what challenge, what struggle he had to go through, there was always some type of bright smile, and he was able to push through the crowd. And to see that he's no longer himself, and he's being, pushed aside. His own self is being pushed aside for this part of him that should have been locked away. So I'm guessing somehow Kamui was suppressing his true Yato instincts. It's just that he took more pride in it than Kagura, but he also was, suppressing it to some point, because if that was the case, he would have been all out all the time. But also because he's let out from his he let out his true instincts. Every time he tried to punch or something, it's taking an effect on his body, so he's damaging his body at the same process. And before Kamui can land the blowing hit on Abuto, Kagura intervened. So at least two of my three thoughts would have happened, but they're trying to get Umibozu to get out the place, because when Kamui set his eyes on him, he was ready to go attack him. He's attacking everybody and anyone that he sees until he is satisfied. At least that part of him is satisfied. So we see in chapter 588 where Shinpachi and Kagura, we see some flashbacks, mini flashbacks. That doesn't take up the whole chapter, but after their fight with Abuto during Yoshiwara Flames and Arc, and how Kagura allowed her Yato instincts, her suppressed Yato instincts, take over her, and she wasn't strong enough to fight Abuto as herself. She said she wanted to get stronger to protect herself, and Shinpachi wanted to be able to be stronger to protect everyone that's around them, and they team up to fight this raging Kamui. And you see him, getting the hits and everything, but both of them combined is somehow putting a force on Kamui, because Kagura is trying to bring back her family, even though there was a little flashback with her talking to her mother, and her mother told her that how her father wanted to bring her to Earth, but because she fell sick, and possibly the point of him losing, forgetting that promise, and him losing his hair, Kagura made a promise saying that when her mom gets better, she wants to bring the whole family to Earth. But of course her mother died before that promise could be made, and her father, and brother left. So she went to Earth, and that's how she ended up meeting Gintoki and Shinpachi. And she said, you know, her mother telling her, if you can meet some idiotic but very a warm, welcoming family, you know, I want to be able to see that one day. And Kagura has able to find that type of family, and both chapters was so touching. It's like it made me shed tears. I'm not crying out in the video, but it made me shed tears because they were both very touching chapters, especially with the fight sequence, and it was just so bloody and impactful. And then all these flashbacks and what these meanings, what they're doing right now, trying to bring back this idiotic brother of Kagura's and trying to click to each other as a family. It was just so, it's just so touching, and it was really good two chapters when you reading back to back these two chapters. So by the end of chapter 588, both Kagura and Kamui land punches, but we don't know who dealt the hardest punch and who's the one that's going to collapse. My assumptions is going to be Kamui, that Kagura's feelings finally managed to connect with him, but that's just my assumptions. But it was a really good chapter with some decent flashbacks that didn't take up the whole chapter, but I guess they were really needed to make the point come across to the reader. If you saw both these chapters, tell me what were your thoughts on them. What do you think next week's chapter will be like? What the outcome will be? What your hypothesis was? What was your most favorite part of these two chapters? Pick out whichever you would like best. The links are in the description box, so you guys can go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!